All right. Hey, we're gonna be recording a analysis of one of my CPL games. This is preseason week 2. I'm playing Keen. It's TvZ on the week 2 map, which is Vermeer. I haven't played Keen too much, so I don't know too much about him, but I think he is a trickier player. So he's more unpredictable. We can't expect him to just go some standard macro play here. So we have to keep an eye on our scouting and be careful about that. Just going to go for a wall in at our natural and proceed into a bio play. TvZ, when I first started playing, I really struggled with it because I think it just plays a little different than like TVP and TVT. You can sort of follow a bit of a formula for those, like more so than TvZ, because TvZ is so dynamic. There's a ton of trades that are happening, and like following build order is pretty much useless. None of the supplies will make sense if you try to do it that way. Okay, let's turn that off. I don't know who that is, but that's nice. We go for a wall in here. It was 9 depot, 11 racks. My depot was a little late because I sent the SCV late because I've been playing so much damn TVP that was just gonna make a depot in base. Realized a little late, but that's okay. This is a 2 gap wall here, and you see the map makers were kind enough to add a little piece of dirt here to prevent you from making a depot there and walling this gap off. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to deal with that. Now we see his overlord come in, and which tells me that obviously he's over here. I do send my scout here because in case that he first scouted me with his overlord, I don't want to be stuck in the dark and have to I want to be able to know where he is when he knows where I am, basically, because this overlord's going to be able to see your racks here. Is it making marines, is it pausing, and then he's going to be able to adjust his game plan. So if I want to also be able to see what he's doing, so at least we're on equal footing. Now first scouting 12 hatch, you can safely go for 15 cc here before you make your second depot. My second depot is actually kind of late because I'm not too used to going 15 cc, to be honest. It's okay to go 2 depots into cc if you just want to do that as your standard play. We stayed in his base long enough to confirm the lair timing. It's going to be a 2 hatch play, whether mutas or lurkers. So if the lair is starting in around 250 mark, you know it's most likely going to be 2 hatch play. If it's starting past the 3-minute mark, then it's going to be either a 3rd hatch in his base. They call that the 2.5 hatch. Or if he's really greedy, he's going to make a 3rd hatch outside at an expansion somewhere. And here we saw that he was kind of skipping early Zerglings, so in return, we skipped a lot of early Marines. Like you see here, we only have our 3rd Marine making, but we already have our eBay done, and we have our Academy started already. So it's kind of a trade-off. Again, he's here looking at my racks, not making stuff. So he's, free to go drones. And I see with my SCV that there's no lings coming out, so I'm free to go infrastructure. It probably works out a little better for Zerg that way, but the alternative is that you have to pump a lot of Marines and threaten to attack them, and that can, that can go really well or really poorly. It's kind of a higher variance play, if that makes sense. Here we saw his gas started at like 420 or so. I would say that if it's a 2 hatch muta play, after having talked to some Zerg people I play with, 2 hatch muta usually goes for the gas at 4 minutes, so this is a little bit on the later side. This should already clue you in that he's doing something that's not standard. And by standard, I would be, 2 hatch muta I would say is pretty standard. All right, we're going for eBay +1 attack with the fast academy. This basically has your +1 finish at the same time that Stim and Ranger are finished, and you can move out with 4 racks starting to pump Marines and start pressuring the map. We scan and see a Hydra Den, so this confirms our, initial suspicion that, when the game first started off, that it was going to be, okay, hold on, we got some Zerglings coming in here. Again, this is a 2-gap thing, but it does really screw up the AI. Imagine if we didn't have a wall in here, we would have just been dead, completely dead. And if we didn't pull SCVs fast enough, we also would have been dead. So this is kind of, I would say, a little bit poor on me to not clog it up more nicely. My units were kind of just rallied here in this general vicinity, and it's like I could have taken the extra details of putting a medic here, right, and then putting a marine and medic here, and then the lings wouldn't even have a chance to do damage. There, he actually had a nice chance to just end the game. It didn't work out for him here, but I've lost so many games like that. I can't even count it. We make the bunker outside here because we're just trying to secure a foothold against his lurkers. Now, what I've been told is you want to get out on the map as soon as possible against lurkers so that you buy time for your tech and your units to come through and delay his push. So we come out on the map, we spot this egg here. We don't have enough marines to kill it. It kind of just scurries away here, joins the rest of his friends. And now he has lurkers pushing in with lings. And we only have 7 marines. It's a little dicey. Because the eBay build kind of comes on a little slower in terms of marine count. He messes up his marine ling micro here. He kind of has them on move command and didn't shift them to attack command fast enough, so I got a little lucky there. Now these lurkers, it's a little slower for them to advance, right? With those lings alive, he could have just A-moved everything in with the unburrowed lurkers, and I would have to pull it back. But with those lings dead, he has to kind of burrow push, if you will, here, right? Like this. It's kind of like tank pushing for Terrans versus Protoss. So he's burrow pushing, and I try to snipe a lurker before it finishes, but I don't know if that was great. I lost a few marines there. He has plenty of lurkers left, and we are only on 3 racks. So we should probably be a little more judicious with our use of marines and just kind of like either pull it back to these bunkers that I built for them or wrap around to try to catch reinforcements. As I'm trying to wrap around, he just goes in for the kill here with 6 lurkers and starts trading with my bunkers. He realizes that he doesn't have enough meat. I unstimmed the marines and pop them back in the bunker. It kind of doubles their DPS. It's really good to do. If you're not fast enough, they can actually die as you pop them out to the spines. So it's a little risky there as well. We confirmed this 3rd with our SCV. What we should be doing is checking the drone count here, because we scanned this and see almost no drones. We scanned this and see a reasonable number of drones. I guess we don't need to check it now because we scanned here. But if these were saturated, we should check the drones here, because then if these had no drones, that would tell us that, he's continuing to put on major aggression. Right now, we already kind of know this because, again, we scanned and saw no drones here. There were like 3 drones mining minerals. Okay, we're getting our tech up with siege mode and science facility, just trying to get that detection so we can push out and get some breathing space against this lurker contain here. As siege finishes, what we really want to do is just siege up here, kind of near the bunkers, until our science vessel comes out. And we made a dropship first because the control tower will finish before the science facility finishes, so the starport is usually kind of idle for a little bit. You can squeeze in a dropship for a little bit and then start making a science vessel. But here we made a mistake and pay the price for it. Our tank came out here for no reason. It did not siege as we intended. And now there's like 12 lurkers just wrecking my face. At this point I'm thinking, I'm kind of screwed. I'm making emergency bunkers here, one here, ready to just run my SCVs and float the natural at this point. because this is looking pretty doomed. We have 3 Marines to our name and 1 tank. And here come the 3 lurkers to end the game. We managed to just barely kill the last one. And so we're alive for now, but we have 1 Marine and 1 tank, 2 tanks. And here come like a flood of Zerglings, Speedlings. There goes that 1 tank. We're at 0 Marines and 1 tank. We pulled the boys. It's not looking too good here, I gotta admit. We pull the boys. They're fighting with medics healing them. We got this 1 tank here. Somehow we're able to repel that and kill that last lurker with the last siege tank shot. Our science vessel is out. More lings come in. We hop in this bunker here, which is already on fire, and he busts it. And this medic is really doing work. He's got 0 mana left, but was somehow able to keep my guys alive. The +1/+1 attack and armor upgrade are really helping at this point. So I scanned to try to get a sense of the game state. This scan showed a normal amount of drones, although I should have noticed there were no drones on gas. One thing I should do more is, like, once I scan, actually stare at the screen with my eyes, because it's so easy to just scan, and then go back to making your stuff, and like you're just going through the motions at that point, because people told you, hey, you should scan and keep a tab on people, and okay, yeah, I scan, and you know, I'm going back to manage my base, but I didn't actually absorb the damn information. Like, there's times where I've scanned and saw no drones and no sunkens, and the only thing I focused on was no sunkens. I send my army and I die because no drones meant he made 30 lings, right? That dropship we made earlier is now over here. I landed in the edge of his base, kind of with the intent to stim in and catch him unawares. I scanned to make sure there's no burrowed lurkers here. He reacts pretty quickly, but this is doing like a really big amount of damage, and the reason I went for this play is that I felt that I needed to do something to put the pressure back on him. He's been kind of in my face, almost just completely crushing me, coming in my ramp the whole game, and so I needed to do something to change that flow. Here he went for the counter attack because his, you know, this is going to be a pain ass to clear, but we were able to kind of pull it back and secure the victory here. Pretty close game. Pretty close game. It could have gone either way at several points. So I'm gonna be casting, or I don't know if casting is the right word, but I'm gonna be watching my own games for the other CPL games to try to see if I can learn anything from them. On this one, I think it was look at where I'm scanning. The first time I scanned, we only saw 3 drones. That should have been on my mind, that, you know, he's going for all in, and we could have probably made more bunkers, right? We had like 2 bunkers. If we saw 3 drones here, I mean, you know, even going up to 5 bunkers is okay, to be honest, because as long as you solidify, we have so many SCVs that we're gonna, you know, win later. And then the second scan, when we saw that he had like, what was it, 1 per mineral patch but none on gas, again, that shows that he's still low eco, so we can just kind of play defensive and be okay. But during the game, I did not know any of this, even though I scanned. I just didn't pay attention to the scans, so that wasn't good. The other thing was be tighter with our wall-ins. So when doing the eBay build, we're only going to have a few Marines early on, and it really sucks to lose them. When you lose those early Marines, that delays your push-out timing, and the Zerg will know this, and they'll be able to abuse you. So, you know, clogging up the 2 holes with a couple of units each instead of just lazily rallying to the general vicinity of the wall-in, because the speedlings can just funnel in and kill everything at your lazy-ass rally before you even react. I happened to react here because I was probably just making something in my natural, but imagine if I was managing a scout or building a depot or something, and by the time I looked, everything here is dead. So that's just game over for not doing something that should be done every game. So I think those were probably two of the biggest takeaways for me. I'm sure there's many more, but for someone looking at their own games, you know, you're not better than yourself, right? You can only try to learn 1 or 2 things per game, and I think that's enough. You know, if you could learn 1 or 2 things per game and apply it going forward, you'll definitely, you should be able to improve over time. Like this applies over other fields as well, you know, chess, like whatever it is. You don't need to have like 12 takeaways per game. In fact, I think that's too much. So with that, thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.